I don't accept perennialism as a way of thinking. I believe that's an invention. There are strong, how to put it, directions toward perennialism. In Eliade, Corbin, Jung, I don't accept them. Beyond perennialism, you have always something very particular. It takes time for you to identify what is this particular perennialism. So Jung is basically Christianity, and Corbin is Islam, and Eliade is archaic. Everyone has his perennialism. They were together in Eranos, and they at least agree about the perennialism. But there's nothing like perennialism. Even there, they don't agree about what it is.
Perennialists, they're wrong because they're ignoring the particularity. Is that what you're saying?
There is no perennialism. There are different forms of perennialism, but I told you each of them has a certain agenda.
Do you think that there's a potential to focus on the common amongst the traditions?
They don't emphasize the common.
Who doesn't? The perennialists?
Yes, they claim that, but look, what they do, they translate the other in their term. But that's not a fair game. Like you translate all the problems of people to the Oedipus complex. So that's a translation. And then you have a complex, and that's, according to Jung, at least some form of But that's, how to put it, you infuse your mythology in the text.
Do you think it's possible to not do that? Do you think it's possible to construct commonality without
It is not
translation?
possible, totally possible not to do it, but we must first be aware of it and be as cautious as possible to prevent it. Meaning, all of us have some unconscious views, but I can easily control myself to see that I don't do it. Meaning, that you can call it a certain form of instinct, because it's simplifying and that is giving you the clue, and that's very nice to write books about it. But scholarship is exactly about it.
Exactly.
Not to subscribe.
Right.
To the instinct, to the easy, to the what does make you a public figure, and all those issues are not scholarly. They are form of egotistic enterprises. And we must be aware that we have this instinct, but what is scholarly is to transcend it.
It's interesting because when I first reached out to you and I first emailed you,
Yes.
I reached out for the interview and I signed my name
Yes.
and then the name of my project, which is Seekers of Unity.
Yes.
And you responded very kindly yes to the interview, but you said, I'm not here for unity. And you said you're here for plurality.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
I'm curious about that because to me it seems that the mystics,
Yes.
both in Judaism and outside, are seeking unity.
Yes, the unity, their unity. That's true. Their unity. Each of them is looking for the unity that everyone should subscribe, which is their unity. I can tell you a story about it. It's a text of Levi Yitzhak Berdichev. That for sure we pray, and we pray by letters, it's Hebrew letters, but all the others cannot pray. They don't have the letters. But those are the letters controlling the universe. That is unity. But unity for us, some form of kuzari. And the moment you say that unity for me, and don't say it is unity, and you deny to the other very explicitly. So there's not unity. a disunity.
That's certainly true of many mystics that are doing a very particularistic, ethnocentric, ontolinguistic form
Yes.
of their own unity. But I think there are some characters, and I think you see them coming out of the Italian Renaissance, Jewish characters, that are trying to do something more expansive, more universal.
You are right. There was such a tendency, which is a Greek tendency. Because the Greeks believed that they have the explanation of the cosmos. And this Greek approach exploded again in the Renaissance. And their claim was not that it's universal. They say, the Kabbalah is very nice. They are telling us exactly the Christian. So we must translate the Kabbalah.
Right.
And that's what they're doing. They're
Right.
translating.
Right.
So this expansion is not exactly universal. It's very particular.
Right. Those that are starting it,
Yes.
like Pico and Ficino, are doing that. But the Jews that take it back from them are not trying to read Christianity into Kabbalah. They're trying to read Kabbalah outwards to the world, right?
I don't say that automatically all of them are the same. You mentioned Renaissance, so I told you Renaissance is very, very Christian.
What about someone like Herrera? He's not a Christian.
Like?
Herrera. Avram Cohen to Herrera.
He's not universalistic. He's philosophically oriented, influenced strongly by the Renaissance, and attempted to be more, how to put it, universalistic than others. But Luria is the real truth, which must be interesting. So there's no difference between him and the Christian Renaissance. He attempted to be a Jewish Christian Renaissance.
Right. That's a good way to put it.